Are we Egyptians? Call it in on a Thursday night. Who's up? Are black people Egyptians? Are FBA, are foundational black Americans Egyptians? That's the question we asking tonight. If you want to participate, call in. But guess what, guys? Don't just be in your feelings. Don't just be in your feelings, man. Somebody say FBAs are what they want to be when it's convenient for them. I don't understand that. I'm confused on that. When is it convenient for us to be anything else but FBA? When do we shapeshift and cosplay like these tethers do? I'm trying to see what you're talking about. Because I can read your comment and give you the shine, but I'm gonna be honest. Like if you make a good argument against FBA, then you just make a good argument. I'll rebuttal it, but that argument is just freaking horrible, bro. You can't just say stuff nowadays, and that's why FBA ain't going nowhere, because a lot of y'all think FBA just no, articulate yourself, be intellectual, be intelligent. That's what FBAs are doing all over the internet. You can't just be a lazy ass Pan-African nowadays, bro. You just can't. That's lazy. Like FBAs just be what they want to be when they want to be it. Examples like Umar did the other day when he was like, Pan-Africans hands down. We've done more, achieved more than all of them put together. Let's go down the list of these y'all lazy as hell, man. That's why it's dying. Like, it's dying. I'm gonna be honest, in my opinion, I don't agree with Pan-Africanism, right? I don't agree with it. But I think that it ain't dying because it's not appealing. It's appealing to a lot of our people. It's dying, in my opinion, because it established itself as the voice for black people and just was so bougie. It was like, we the end all be all. Black folks think they Africans, we Egyptians. That's it. Ain't nobody gonna challenge us, and our spot ain't never going nowhere. You was wrong. FBA took over overnight. Because when you develop that lazy ass attitude, well, we here, we won over black people. We ain't got to do nothing else. We can just say little lazy slogans, right? You hate yourself because you don't want to be African. You don't like being African. Another lazy slogan. Like this brother, Level 119. Look at just what he's typing in the chat. You'll get a good example of the kind of laziness I'm talking about. And I'm not going to debate you, bro. I'm just going to use you for an example to show you why Pan-Africanism is dead. Pan-Africans sit back and they just type lazy stuff we've heard over and over. Or just dry ass comments and insults and just boring like you doing, like you doing. Level 119, like you doing, for sure. So call in, numbers pinned, man. We're going to be reviewing a video from the Saint and Center. This brother is a FBA. He's FBA. Let's pull the video up. One problem I think we're going to have with FBA, right? I got to talk about it because it's really an issue, right? We cannot be trying to delineate while still trying to hold dear to Egypt, people. And I'm going to tell you, it's time for FBA to really man up and stand on our own with something. The FBA movement depends on it. Because guess what? We in too deep now. When we delineated, all of the other groups looked at FBA and said, it's war with them. We don't want nothing to do with them. It's up and it's stuck. So when we start claiming Egypt, it makes us look bad because it's almost like we're still seeking cultural pride outside of foundational America that we built. So the whole thing about FBA is, listen, we've been claiming Egypt for years. We've been claiming more Hebrew, all that for years. And I'm telling you, in my opinion, I believe if you're a brother who's saying you're FBA, my humble opinion, you're hurting the movement still with what I call outdated behavior. The glorification of Kemet in Egypt is outdated behavior. We can't prove it other than looking at statues and saying, see, we look like them. But that's not really science. And I'm not saying we're not Egyptians. I'm just saying that's a very pseudo way of trying to prove it. That's not based on any kind of scientific methodology, because you can say niggas look like monkeys. Did we come from monkeys? Because yes, Patrick Ewing resembles a damn monkey. You could say we come, man, listen, if you want to say what we look like, that's what we come from, that ain't really science though. You know. It's just not. Because I could just go around and look at a brother and say, damn, nigga, you look like you come from lizards with your lizard-looking ass. That's called lookership. Lookership. Oh, it looks like this, so it must be that. That ain't science. So the floor is open if you can prove that blacks are Egypt besides lookership. We can prove we're foundational black Americans without the lookership. Genealogy show that, data show that, records show that. And by the way, if you are foundational black American, the only theory that we can subscribe to in bulk and not look stupid, in my opinion, is the transatlantic slave trade. Even though that one is still questionable. Even Dane Calloway told us that that's questionable. But even before Dane, we knew that we didn't land on Plymouth Rock anyway. Plymouth Rock landed on us. But the whole thing is, FBA, we gotta evolve. We got to evolve, man. The glorification of Egypt is part of our Pan-African programming. And when we're saying we're delineating and we finna start focusing on America because we got an agenda to restore our greatness here, we don't need nobody in FBA wasting energy talking about we Egyptians, man. We foundational black Americans. We've been screaming Egyptian for years, bro. And then nobody give us no smoke with it. Soon as we said we the original Americans, everybody and they mama mad. I don't care if nobody don't think I'm an Egyptian or not, because I'm saying what really hurt folks. See, think about this, FBA. Think about this. They would love for FBA to stop what we doing right now and start trying to prove we Egyptians. But we've done that for years. Nas was on the cover like the Pharaoh. Africa Bombada, Pharaoh costume. That's outdated old shit. That didn't get us nowhere. Where did being Egyptians get us? Because where are we? In America, right? When we was trying to be Egyptians, everybody was trying to be Americans, bro. That's what led to this whole thing. A foundational black America. Who's the foundational? Who's the originals? So it undermines the movement, in my opinion. And I know we want to perpetuate this argument because you have white guys saying we're not the Egyptians, but y'all taking the bait. Y'all taking the bait. We are cultural appropriating. Because guess what? As it stands today, we're not the Egyptians. We're foundational black Americans in this land. And that's what the FBA movement is about. It's about reclaiming our greatness here. Because guess what? Ain't nobody who really care about us claiming Egypt. I'm telling you right now, when you claim Egypt, it don't make these people mad at all. When you claim Egypt, they say, there you go, black man, you are the Egyptians. It's so hard to find white guys like him that said we ain't the Egyptians. Let me show you, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. So all around the internet, I'm gonna give you an example real quick. I'm gonna give you an example. All you gotta do is go to Google, put in Black Egyptians, and you will see all of the propaganda that have came out. We're in Nat Geo. Look at here. See, it's a nothing burger, and it's kind of like a little trick to start arguing for Egypt right now while we in the middle of getting reparations, right? We in the middle of delineating, reclaiming the greatness of this. You got folks moving from Egypt to America, nigga. That's right. What are we doing? Don't you know we've been claiming everything but America, and people weren't mad. The moment we say, oh, we the original Americans, everybody get pissed. Why would you stop that? Because ain't nobody caring about you saying you an Egyptian. Man, we've been saying that. Look at here. Nat Geo said that with us. It's a nothing burger to argue with niggas. We're the Egyptians. And because it's so many people on our side that agree that we're the Egyptians, even though the same people that agree that we the Egyptians, they tell us we came here through the transatlantic slave trade that never went to Northeast Africa. It's so much confusion, man. And there's no one really thinking for real. How the hell are we West Africans and East Africans? When you go to Africa, West Africa and East Africa is like night and day. You can't make this up. It's like black people and white people. And they so divided. It is like Crip and Blood. It's so tribal. But that ain't just East Africa and West Africa. That's North and South Africa. Even within these regions, you got infighting of the farmers versus the herders, the fucking creek dwellers versus the bush dwellers. Like, it's so many hoods and territory, just like what we got. You know, the white man did them how he did us, divided them with little dumb little hoods and stuff. Tribalism. That's all gangbanging is. It's my street, my little territory, you know, little shit like that. Why they rule everything, keep us divided and conquered. But anybody want to talk to me, hit the link. I'm not going to read your comments from the chat. We got the call lines open tonight, so come on up. Because what happens is if you address me from the chat, we ain't going to pay no attention to that. I'm just saying, like, to me, it's moving backwards. Like, we're not in the 90s with unks and dashikis and leather medallions. That was when we was saying, we Egyptians. And everybody was behind it. Like, that was the whole hip-hop movement. It's just, to me, a waste of... It undermines FBA. FBA is telling the world, look, we've tried all these other identities and they didn't work. Y'all weren't hearing us out. We couldn't get reparations as Egyptians. We can't get it as Hebrew Israelites. We can't get reparations as Moors. People are getting reparations right now, and it's because of the foundational Black American movement. Now notice a lot of people in FBA that are anti-reparations. Let me show you something about the brother video that I'm playing now, because I want to debate him. I want to debate this brother. And I hope we can set it up some kind of way. I already know what the debate is gonna be about. Are we Egyptians? And his whole thing gonna be we Egyptians because the white man said we not. Even though I can show you hundreds of them, way more. It's way more white folks saying we are Egyptians than we're not. The Dutch government is trying to put Beyonce in the Egyptian museum, and the Egyptian government turned it down. What I'm telling you is that this dude, the saint in the center, in my opinion, I think he's undermining FBA because he's against reparations, right? He's against reparations, and he's on his shit to really let everyone know we're Africans. And bro, we are not Africans. And what they'll try to do to make us Africans again is to say, so you don't want to be an Egyptian no more? Nope. I'm cool with the Pharaoh, nigga. We good on that. I just want to be a foundational black American now. I don't want to be an Egyptian or none of that shit. Because it benefits us now. It benefits us now to just simply be that. See, it's a reason they gave us all them beautiful titles. They didn't care when we was saying, I'm a god, I'm a king, I'm an Egyptian. When you simply say, I'm a foundational black American, boy, that piss a lot of people off. Y'all don't get that yet? We ought to know right now, you shouldn't be screaming nothing else but FBA. You shouldn't be screaming no Egyptian shit, none of that. Because that don't get under their skin. We found what works, man. That's right. Why we gonna go backwards? That Egyptian shit wasn't working. Nobody wasn't respecting us with that Egyptian shit. They was laughing at us, nigga. Nobody was respecting niggas talking about we pharaohs from Egypt. They let you call yourself kings and queens. But soon as you say we're the original Americans, woo, buddy, you better get ready for smoke from everybody. And I'm going to tell you right now, if y'all don't want to keep screaming FBA and you want to take your foot off the gas and be Egyptians again or be that again, to me, that's a cop-out. Because you tired of the smoke that coming with saying, I'm FBA. That come with a lot of smoke, and you got to assert yourself with that. Ain't nobody caring if you say you're an Egyptian. They want you to do that. They want you to do that, man. I mean, what are we doing? We got a group of FBAs saying we ain't Africans, and you got another group saying we Egyptians. Man, we look goofy. And I ain't saying everybody gotta think the same, but it's a lot of confusion on who we are, even though FBA supposed to be our identity. It shouldn't be that much confusion if everybody just say, we FBA. That's it, we FBA. But we Egyptians too, but we're Haitians, bro. We can get, FBAs can be a lot of things. Not all, listen, you got FBAs that do have family in Egypt, Nigeria, all over, I'm sure. They got ties to it. It don't behoove them to claim none of that right now. It behooves them to say that they're a foundational black American right now. Black folks been claiming everything else in our blood but the American ancestors that bled right here. So if you're a black person in America and you got Egyptian in your blood, Korean, Japanese, whatever other, because I'm not no Egyptian, saying you an Egyptian ain't lineage based. That is more neo-paganism. That ain't got nothing to do with Big Mama. That ain't your lineage, Egyptian. The Egyptian shit come from the Freemasons during the 1950s when we was culturally appropriating Egyptian culture and hip hop. These white men ain't lying. It's cultural appropriation. If the only way you can prove blacks are Egyptian is by looking at a statue saying, look at that black man and look at this one, then that's the same shit the Tether's doing. They saying, look at my face, look at Sanchez face. See, we all black. No, bro. The lookership is what's been killing us. We're delineating and we're saying, nope, we ain't all black. FBA is just FBA, but ain't y'all a eat? Nope, it's just FBA. We ain't losing nothing, y'all, not claiming all that shit. You do know that, right? That's right. Shout out to D-Dub. Archaeologists have claims in the Grand Canyon caves showing its evidence that the America's old world is Upper and Lower Egypt. What's your spiel on that? The reason people think America is Egypt is because Egypt was part of a worldwide empire. And there were many Egypts. There was more, there's a Giza in Antarctica. What I'm saying is that when we say, well, America was Egypt, no, Egypt was Tartarian. We gotta quit saying this was Egypt. That Egypt wasn't the standard. Egypt wasn't even the most advanced, right? There were civilizations that taught the Egyptians that don't even get mentioned. Egypt is a baby of Ethiopia. No one mentions Ethiopia because y'all been programmed by Freemasons. How the hell are y'all mentioning Egypt and you're not mentioning Ethiopia? And it would be no Egypt if it weren't for Ethiopia. To call yourself an Egyptian without saying you're an Ethiopian is stupid. You should be saying we're Nubians. Why do people want to be Egyptians, which is a baby civilization that failed? Everything they told you about Egypt is a lie. It wasn't as great as the Mayan Empire, the Khmer Empire, the Ottoman Empire, the Olmec Empire. Egypt was just one empire that was a network of empires that was all had the same symbols and systems. It was like an old world, new world order. Just like today, if everyone, all these countries come together under one United Nations New World Order and we get one religion system, one everything. That happened already, y'all. That happened already. And Egypt was part of that New World Order in the past. So when we go around the world, we see obelisks everywhere. We see pyramids everywhere, and we say, oh, maybe this is Egypt. Maybe that's Egypt. No, dude. Egypt was just one of many advanced civilizations that had already made their own United Nations. And it's crazy that you would have people that read the Bible and don't know that when the Bible talks about this time, it's the pre-Babel time. During the pre-Babel time, people were building towers everywhere. Guess what that is? Obelisks. Oh, man, I'm going to tell you, it sucks being me because sometimes it's lonely knowing all this by myself. I have to debate thousands of people who still programmed with neo-paganism, who still programmed with the papacy, with the church. Y'all, I don't make enough. I'm going to be honest. I don't supposed to be on here complaining about money. But that just slipped out and I'm sorry. I won't do it again. And I appreciate you, D-Dub. But I got a headache right now, man. Because it's like, I think we should know this stuff. And you would think, okay, our people don't know this. Cool, that creates a lane for me to teach it. No, it doesn't. It gets me crucified. And my numbers don't grow, they go down. So if I would just shut up and quit knowing so much and just motherfucking conform to all the other shit you've heard before, we the Egyptians. And all the other popular mainstream you ain't thinking outside the box. You just regurgitating or pop some more common shit we heard before. Shout out to Jay Scaramel. He said the Egyptians were primitive compared to the Tartarian Golden Age, and that's a fact. That's a fact. Let's play the video.
Claimed that his ancestors...
I need headphones on for this. Right. Put some headphones on. Put some headphones on for this.
Ancestors build the pyramids. I'm sorry, your ancestors had their...
Pay close attention. We're going to...
Now listen. It's some truths and some lies to what everybody say. Let's see if we can pick them apart.
break this down.
Of Mali. But the thing is, that's why you find people like Kevin Hart, who subscribes to these theories, who claim that his ancestors built the pyramids. I'm sorry, your ancestors had their own wonderful civilization in West Africa. They are culture appropriating my culture, calling the people...
Now this is funny. He said...
No, he's telling the truth. And I don't understand how blacks can have everything. So you telling me our people built the pyramids in Egypt and the ones in South America? And I'm not saying we ain't the black Egyptians. I'm questioning how we're every damn thing. Because guess what niggas gonna say? We're everywhere and everybody. We the first Europeans. We the first this, first that. We the first everything. But we ain't the first barbarians. We ain't the first grapists. But we don't take the first with the bad stuff though. It's a fantastical, egotistical viewpoint of ourselves. And it was given to us to give us pride during a time when we was trying to make progress. And whenever you give people pride, they will take that over progress. Pride feels like progress. Seriously. And all our movements was pride movement. What was it called? Black pride. African pride. You never heard black progress. Africans progress. Progress for minority people. They love to throw minorities pride shit. Like February, you get a month, Black History Month and shit. I don't care about none of that stuff, y'all. I don't care about giving black people something to be proud of. Like, that's where the whole Egyptian identity come from during the neo-pagan movement. There is no science behind it. And if there is science behind it, guess who didn't do the research? Black people. We listening to the white man say who we are. That's right. I don't gotta listen to the white man and know that I'm a foundational black American, because that's all my folks been telling me for a minute, that we the real Native Americans. We the Choctaw Indian, Blackfoot Indian, Mississippi River Indian, and that we Creek River Indians. We the Seminole. We the Redskin Indian of Washita. So I've been hearing this. I know that there are big ass statues that look like Gucci Mane, and they call them Olmecs. Big Gucci Mane looking niggas. Real talk. Them Olmec statues look like the fat Gucci. Quit playing. Tell me them Olmec statues don't look like the fat Gucci. It's so obvious who they are. Now, I ain't saying that you can't look at the Egyptian stuff and see yourself in Egypt too, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying, what are you claiming? You're claiming foundational black American. Everyone know we Egyptians. Now, no one's proved that we are not, but they know we've been claiming. That's why this dude making a video, because it's been a thing that blacks have been told that, hey, we're the Egyptians. But I actually want to reach out to this dude, and I'm going to have him on the channel. I want to, if you know any Egyptians, I want to reach out to the Egyptians and let them know, man, I'm sorry for my people claiming y'all shit and cultural appropriating. We trying to be everything, you know, everything. And I ain't saying you niggas can't be Egyptians, but right now, can we just be foundational Black Americans, people, please? It's beneficial to us to delineate right now. And when you're delineating, you got to stay on code. You can't revert back to those old African program neo-pagan ways that didn't get us nowhere. That's why we needed to make FBA in the first place. Because we was trying to be everything else and people weren't respecting that. So, okay, y'all ain't gonna respect that. Let me show you how I looked it, right? We showed up with dashikis on. And we were like, so y'all ain't gonna respect us as Africans? Nope. So we showed up as good old Christians, praising the Lord. So y'all ain't gonna respect us as saints? Nope. So then we became Moors, Hebrew Israelites. We showed up with fezzes on. And we thought maybe that'll get their respect. Nope, nigga, we still ain't respecting you with the fez on. Now we Hebrew Israelites. Still ain't respecting us. We've put on all these costumes, bro. None of them gained us respect. When we stripped ourselves naked and just said, man, we just foundational Black Americans. Fuck all that. Bam, that's when the light came on and everybody start respecting it. Guess how we know they respecting it? Because they pushing back at it. I was wondering, like, if we really telling the truth to the world about who we are, and we know the world don't want us to wake up, why they was so happy with us when we was claiming Egypt? Why the white man was so happy with us claiming everything else but America? You got to pay attention to that, man. That's important, bro. That's very important. You can't slip on that, bro. You can't slip on that, bro. Now is not the time to claim Egypt, bro. That's right. Like, claiming Egypt right now is like the guy that shows up and say, split it, wham, what's up, Jive Turkey, my man? Put some on the black hand side, buddy. It's outdated. Respectfully, it's setting us. We're working to go forward, and this is taking us backward. It's taking us backwards. It's only gonna be ammunition for the tethers. The tether's gonna eat this up. They gonna say, when did the slave boat go to East Africa? And you ain't gonna have an answer. Because we did not get the Egyptian identity through history. We got it through neo-paganism, but niggas don't do research. They don't even know what neo-paganism is. They don't even know there was a whole cultural movement led in New York in the 60s and 70s that told Black people we were Egyptians, Hebrews, and Moors. Drop a one if you knew that. Because this ain't common knowledge. You got to really be a nerd to know this about the neo-pagan movement. Bro, and that's why if you claim in Egypt, you can't find no historical references. You can't find nothing. If you claim West Africa, then you can refer to the transatlantic slave trade. That's historical references. Now, we can question history. I ain't saying historical data is correct. I'm saying it's there. So that's why you will have a lot of foundational Black Americans saying, hey, well, we can't deny the slave trade because they don't want to go against the scientific data. And if that's the code that FBA is on, I can't undermine it if I'm claiming FBA because I'm going against the group. FBA is saying, look, if you got people, if you're FBA and your people descend to West Africa, cool. If you're FBA and your people descend to Egypt, cool. But you can't make all FBA Africans. That's what the tether's doing. That's what the Pan-Africans doing. A person may say, but Sanchez Marquette ain't making all blacks Africans. Yes, he is. Egypt is in Africa. It's a sly way of doing it. Because niggas know FBA on some anti-African shit right now because we delineate. But they can sneak that back in there by not using Africa. They can say, well, we Egyptians. Yeah, some of us are Egyptians. Some FBAs may have Ghanaian roots, Nigerian roots. We got to look at Egypt like just another country in Africa, man. It ain't nothing special, bro. Because what we built here is more special than what we built anywhere else in the world. And that's why they don't want us claiming this right here. They gave you Egypt. That's right. They gave you Egypt. They don't want you to know about the Sphinx that's in the Grand Canyon. They don't want you to know about the Giza that was the Grand Canyon. It's so many black folks saying we are the Egyptians. Bro, the Egyptians are the Americans. If anything, the original blacks in America influenced the Egyptians. It wasn't the other way around. They don't grow corn in Egypt. But guess what you see when you go to Black Egypt? Corn rolls. Guess who's known for growing corn? The Native Americans. When you say Indian, you think corn. The Indians here had a hairstyle that they came up with, that they developed by looking at the way that they plant the corn. The Indians planted their corn in these rows like that. And they just did the same thing with the hair. Because when a person have a certain technique, you will see them do it everywhere on everything that it can apply to. And if that's the way they was doing their crops, is only right. Hey, man, that'll work for organizing the hair too. So watch this, right? It's called corn rolls. Show me in Egypt where they was eating cornbread. Everybody be sucking Egypt off because they don't want y'all to know, bro, Egypt ain't all that, man. Egypt, all right. If I was in the ancient world, Egypt would probably be number 5 on my list. The first place I'm traveling is right here because what they ain't telling you, just like today, America is the most moved to country. It's been that way. During the time when they said the Egyptians was ruling and everybody loved Egypt, people were still coming to America. Why you think they saying that the Egyptians came to America and now black folks saying we the Egyptians? Black folks telling you we the Egyptians and we came to America at some point. And you got black folks saying we the West Africans, but we came to America at some point. Why don't we have no indigenous black Americans saying we FBA, but we moved to Nigeria at some point? We the original Americans, but we decided to go back and move to Egypt at some point. People still moving to America as I speak, y'all. In flocks, the tether's coming. Ain't no black Americans moving out of America like that, going to live in these other lands. We ain't even going to live in Egypt, even though it's cheaper to live there, and we say it's our kingdom. The Egyptians moving here more than the blacks moving back home to their damn motherland. But we Egyptians, right? We just don't care to go back. Why? See, during the glory of Egypt, people were still coming here, man. America, where is that, y'all? We got to realize that. We got to realize it's something special about America. Ain't got nothing to do with the white man. It's some spiritual about us, and it's some strategic and very important about the land. Everybody want to be Americans. Don't you see that? Bro, everybody and they mama wanna be a fucking American. And you been here for 500 years. Not only are you an American, you like an OG. And you don't want to claim that. Nigga, you are OG, triple OG American, and you want to claim a fucking sandbox with camels where the most tourism is a damn little pyramid. Yeah, I said little pyramid because I'm disrespectful like that, man. That little pyramid over there in that sandbox. See, because there were pyramids way bigger than what you see in Egypt, and they was destroyed, just like the giant trees that were cut down. You see, when you look at the world, you see a kindergarten playland. It may make Egypt look like they the shit, but guess what? Even when you go to Kemer and Angkor Wat, the architecture is way more advanced than Egypt. No one say, black men, we are the Kemer Empire, which was mightier than Egypt, because they haven't been educated. That's why I said this brother went to college, but they don't educate you in college. They indoctrinate you in college, especially if you're in a fraternity. If you in a fraternity, you think just like the white man. You think black folks are immigrants, and you think our only glory is in Egypt. That's sad. Niggas who want to hold on to Egypt is because they haven't learned how great they are all over the world, my nigga. That's right. We built empires in Southeast Asia that make that shit in Egypt look like a little sandbox. But niggas don't educate themselves. Niggas don't know how great we was in Victorian America. Yes, Victorian age niggas, bro. On some Victorian shit. And the shit we was on, the technology we had. The free energy devices. See, y'all don't want to go into that. Y'all think we were, like, Egypt is so primitive compared to what black people really were in the past. That's why they don't mind you attaching to Egypt. And our people so lost, we want to hear what we've already been hearing for years from the boule, the frat boys, the college Negroes, reinforcing, you know, this misinformation to our people to disconnect us from our lineage here, from our roots right here. Because everybody want to be in our position, bro. Because America is the shit. You can't deny it, bro. Everybody want to come over here. Everybody want to be an American. Even the Egyptians. And just to think, not only are you an American, you're the original American. Bro, you know how special you are with that? Why you think they so mad when we delineate and come with FBA? Just think about what I'm saying, right? We've been all of these different titles, and it hasn't made the world mad like when we just say, I'm a black foundational black American. If you go up to a white person right now and say, man, we the Egyptians, he'll be like, you know what? I do believe that black people are the original Egyptians. I mean, you guys were the first humans. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, drop a one if y'all know what I'm saying. White folks, they'll look you right in the face and say, black people were the first humans, man. They don't lie. Listen, it make me say, why are they saying that? I don't want to be first no more then, nigga. It's a trick to it. They'll look you right in your face and say, oh man, yeah, black people were the first humans. But if you say we the first Americans, oh man, you got problems, bro. How come the white man don't care about us being the first humans on earth, but he'll fucking have a headache when you say we the first Americans? Think about that, y'all. Just let that sink in a minute. Let that sink in. Let it sink in. You can walk outside right now and say black people were the first humans on earth. We the original man, original woman, and everybody agree. Soon as you say we the original Americans, the whole world tripped and flipped the fuck out. And you ought to pay attention to that. And once you see that, okay, when I say that, they go to acting weird. Guess what you ought to do? Keep saying that, nigga. I wouldn't say nothing else. Nope, I'm going to stay right here because I see what's hurting y'all. That's why I'm so fucking happy for FBA, bro. Because it let us finally find out what fucks with y'all, what makes y'all mad. And guess what? You know we got the truth because the truth hurt, nigga. That's right. You gotta ask yourself, how come when I say I'm the first man and woman on earth, it don't make them mad? How come when I say I'm the Egyptian, it don't make them mad? Everything, it don't make them mad. If I say, look, we Hebrew Israelites, we the real children of God and the Israelite, that don't make them mad. Man, when you say black people are the foundational black Americans and we the original Americans, it does something to them. Bro, I don't even like Tariq Nasheed. But when I peeped that how the FBA making folks trip like that, I had to get on board with it. Because I've been looking for something to piss the world off for years, nigga. Because I know when you find that, you found the truth. If it ain't hurting them, it ain't true, y'all. That's how I know this FBA shit is, boy, I thank the ancestors for it. Truth has came to us in the Aquarian age, my man. And when you find the truth, you don't substitute it for nothing else, nigga. I'm FBA. Nigga can come up to me, but blacks are the Egyptians. We ain't falling for that while we delineating, bro. And I'm like, bro, getting so many views, moving us backwards. Let's play the video.
He claims that his culture is being appropriated. We're going to get to the bottom of it.
Like, don't nobody care about white folks trying to bait us into defending Egypt. It's a tactic. FBA don't fall for it. We're delineating, they're mad. Nope, we ain't Egypt. We don't care about being Egypt. You ain't gonna get it's who can see the trick bag? Because if I was a white man right now, guess what I would be doing? I would be coming out saying blacks ain't the Egyptians. Why? Because I don't want you saying you the original Americans. I want to get you off focus because FBA and delineation is hurting everybody. They hate it so much that we the original Americans, man. They don't like that. They hate that we the foundational Americans of the land, bro. So they would do anything to get us from now claiming our real identity. We found it, y'all. Give yourself a pat on the fucking back. So many years we didn't have a galvanized identity. We got one now. It's foundational black American. We don't need nothing else, bro. Because why? Some of our foundational black Americans are Egyptians. Some FBAs come here through the transatlantic. Some FBAs who didn't come here from the transatlantic may have came from Egypt. We got to keep this thing in perspective. Egypt is just another nation in Africa. And you can't make all black people Nigerians. So you can't make all black people Egyptians, bro. Only way you can make all black people Egyptians is by cultural appropriating and getting into neo-paganism. And FBA don't see how we're double talking. It's starting to make the movie look like we're not educated. Because you can't be claiming West Africa, East Africa, South America, Canada, America. Like, let's focus on one thing. And the one focus should be where we at, my friend. And we live in America right now. We don't live in Egypt, man. And they're trying to undermine us in America. They ain't trying to undermine us in Egypt, bro. We're fighting a deadly war right now in America. And no one cares about Egypt or nothing else. America is all eyes is on America right now. We need to focus on America because America leading the world right now to World War III. Why the hell are we talking about Egypt? Even if we were Egyptians, that was so long ago, it's irrelevant right now while we're delineating. That's right. Like them days of trying to convince a motherfucker that we was kings and queens a long time ago, that's outdated. That's old news, man. That's like having a MySpace page, nigga. We ain't doing that no more. And if we still doing that, then what was the point of creating FBA and delineating? Because delineation means we're now going to identify by our lineage only. And not everyone lineage traces to Egypt. So what are you doing? If FBA is up here telling the world, we ain't all Africans, you can't come out and say we all Egyptians. You're undermining us, man. That's right. And bro, if don't nobody else call it out, I will. Let's play the video. I want a debate. I want the smoke. Let's set the debate up.
Of this, and we're going to do this objectively and academically. And I assure you, whether you're an Arab, whether you're an Egyptian today, meaning
your boy said a Arab. Bro, what is a Arab? It's okay to be normal. And I know they don't like to be called an Arab, but I don't like to be called black. I like to be called a foundation of black America. You gonna get called what I call your ass. That's right. You're an Arab to me. I ain't gonna do all that Arab shit. Like I don't, watch this. I don't do that. I typed it in the chat room. That's OTTOB or is it ODDOB? Arab? How do you do that? You know I gotta be funny.
Egyptian citizen or your ancestry is from the most recent inhabitants of Egypt, which are Arabs who speak Arabic. We're gonna clarify such that it is.
No, it's Arabic. It's Arabic. You gotta keep that thing going now.
It's clear as day and it's undeniable, the truth that I'm going to present to you all.
Oh, it's very deniable. It's very deniable because guess what? Black folks ain't got no science institutions to prove that we the Egyptians. So any nigga telling you you can prove blacks are Egyptians, you can't disprove my grandma, dog. My grandma know who she is. My grandma told me who I am. And again, it's like I'm debating a tether right now that's trying to force Africa on all FBAs. That's why it says undermining FBA. Because not only do I got to check these tethers and let them know, bro, all blacks ain't Africans. Now I got to check another black guy like, bro, all blacks ain't Egyptians either, dog. Trace your lineage and find out what you are. You got to do that. You don't know what you are if you haven't did your genealogy. Not every black person that does a genealogy test gonna find out that they're an Egyptian. Nah, bro, that's you smoking if you think that. Most people do genealogy tests, blacks in America. If it traced back to Africa, it's gonna 9 times out of 10 be West Africa. So out of 95%, I'm gonna say, of all the black people who can trace any blood back to Africa, ain't none of it coming from East Africa. So you gotta ask yourself, how do we actually know we're Egyptians? We don't. It's just been something we've been repeating since the 70s. And I told you how we adopted the title. It wasn't through science. Science has us being West Africans. Hip hop, rap music, have us being Egyptians. And if you don't know hip hop music, you won't even know the history of how black people got the Egyptian title. Because it wasn't through science, bro. If you can prove this, it's impossible for you to do it through science, because guess what? The white man wrote the science books, and the white man ain't gonna debunk himself. The white man said, we come from West Africa. The white man ain't gonna double talk and contradict himself. The white man said he stole us from West Africa. He ain't gonna let nobody get a degree in his school teaching nothing different. So you gotta ask yourself, where are they teaching this different thing at that we come from East Africa? In Alpha Phi Alpha, in the Masonic lodges, and in hip hop, in the 5% Nation. That's all connected through Prince Hall Freemasonry. If you don't know that and ain't done no research, you would think it's scientific that we're Egyptian. No, it's spiritual. It's a spiritual identity that we adopted when we needed it, but we don't need it no more, bro. The only reason we adopted Egypt because we was looking around and couldn't see nothing but crack buildings. The 80s, man, think about how the 80s was. Think about growing up in the Bronx in the 80s. What example of you got to feel good about yourself? So we appropriated Egypt, and it worked. It got us over the hump. For a long time, we felt good about ourselves being the pharaohs of Egypt. But it's time to wake up, bro. That's right. We don't need no more pride hits no more. We need to claim an identity that's going to give us progress, not pride. And that's what FBA does. FBA is an identity. It ain't going to make us liked by the world. We're going to get a lot of hate, but it's going to give a lot of progress. All them other identities, the world loved us for it, but it didn't give us no progress. The world loved when we was Egyptians. The world loved it when we Moors and Hebrews. So it strokes our ego. It makes us proud, right? It makes us proud because we see the world embrace us, but they only embracing it through entertainment, not politics. Go sit at the table and try to do business in America calling yourself an Egyptian. You just lost power. On a political level in America, right? If you think appropriating Egypt gonna get you reparations, that's funny. Now keep in mind, this guy don't agree with reparations, but he's FBA. But he don't think we should get reparations. And another thing, my point is, he wouldn't care about your identity and why it's important. See, the thing about reparations, I don't think we're going to get it, but I like that it galvanized us for a mission. It's deeper than reparations, right? It's the fact that we can take this same unity and apply it to anything now that we came together for one thing. It shows we can come together for something. But look at how much progress we've made overnight with FBA versus being Pan-Africans, Egyptians, and all that. Just think about it. If you old, especially like me, I'm in my 40s, I can tell you right now, FBA have brought black people to a better place in 1 year than what any of these groups have done in a decade. It's been stagnant. The Moors, the Hebrews, the Pan-Africans, the Egyptians, the Nuwapians, all that is played out, bro. You know why? Because FBA here now, baby. FBA here now, baby. And we got some now that's powerful, bro. So why would I go back and put on some weak identity that didn't work long time ago? When I found something that worked. I'm telling all the FBA, watch this dude. I've been telling y'all that, man. Bro blowing up, I ain't hating on it. But what I'm saying is it needs to go challenged. It shouldn't go unchallenged. And I ain't gonna disrespect the brother. I'm just gonna say he don't know what he talking about, and I'll debate you on that you wrong about this. All blacks ain't Egyptians. All blacks ain't Egyptians. Now, you know what? I'm talking too damn much because I'm realizing I only played 52 seconds. And what if he say that? What if he say, you know what? All blacks ain't Egyptians. Then I'm going to look stupid. So let me play the video.
So right now he's claiming that Kevin Hart cannot say that his ancestors were the pyramid building Egyptians. He's claiming that his ancestors, the Arabs, were the pyramid building Egyptians.
Here go the truth right here, y'all. Neither one built the pyramids. First of all, when the pyramids was built, the word Arab went around. Second of all, when the pyramids was built, no one identified as black or white. The civilization that built the pyramids wouldn't have even called themselves Egyptians. Oh yeah, go do your research. We're like a modern post-apocalyptic civilization that came onto the earth after a great reset. And we really don't know much about the past other than what they told us. They've renamed stuff on maps and they've renamed people and lands. So if you go by what historians saying or not saying, you're going to be lost, which is why I love FBA, because FBA is saying, look, fuck what he's saying, she's saying, and she's saying. What did grandma say? That's right. Because guess what? He got an incentive to lie. He got an incentive to lie. Tell me what incentive to your grandmother has to lie to you about who you are when it's her job as the family oracle or your grandfather to keep the family knowledge going. Why are we asking strangers who we are when you got a rich history? If you got a fucking grandmother still alive right now and you ain't looking at her like a history book, you a fool. Nigga, I lost my great grandmother when I was a little bitty boy. And when I finally started waking up, I fucking was hurt. Cause now that I'm into knowledge, I'm realizing, bro, I would have been calling my grandmother every day asking about my family, my history. We didn't care about that when I was young. It wasn't till I grew up and I became fascinated about trying to find out who I am. But now my grandma dead. My great grandma dead. My grandfather dead. All the elders gone. And y'all want to ask frat boys, college professors, scientists who you are. Man, if you go to the Dogon tribe, the only person qualified to tell them who they are is a person that is an oracle in that tribe that's been there for eons. And somebody put them there who was an OG and an oracle. They don't let outsiders tell their history, but our dumb butts do. That's right. And when outsiders tell your history, they will put one identity on the whole group, like they did with the word black, like they did with the word African American. We ought to get tired of that. And if we ain't gonna let them do it, I'm not gonna let him do it. Cause it's worse when our own do it. So no, we ain't no damn Egyptians. And no, the damn pyramids wasn't built by one group. Even when you go in the pyramids, you see different cultures buried in them. You see different cultures carved on the walls. So we're saying that the pyramids was a multicultural effort. But I don't even think that the word culture can be used the way that we use it today to refer to what the people would have been like then. The Bible does a better job of explaining it than me. The Bible talks about a pre-Babel earth where there wasn't no nations or this your land, that's my land. The Bible said we was building the same system all around the world, the Babel towers. That's why you see these big obelisks on every continent. That's what the Bible talking about. And everywhere you see them obelisks at, people say, this is Egypt. And you got people arguing, bro, all around the world saying, this is Egypt, this is Egypt, this is Egypt, this is Egypt. Guess what? Egypt was part of one worldwide empire that was a network and unified with a bunch of different regions. So it ain't like that's Egypt, that's Egypt. Egypt was Tartarian. All of this wasn't, there was no such thing as that's Egypt, that's them, that's that land, and they got a flag. People wasn't split up yet with nations and languages. The Bible told you that. The Bible told you before the papacy, because they told you God did it, but it was really the church, the Roman Empire. They went round, gave everyone new languages through slavery after they conquest. They still doing it now in real time, if you think I'm bullshitting. So watch this. These people split up, everyone divided and conquered them, and took the truth that united us and turned it into world religions that separate us. Now everyone arguing with each other. Who did that? Who did that? When all of our ancestors was united in peace. Our ancestors didn't look at that man and say, you're a filthy Arab, you didn't build the pyramids. Our ego is the reason we're going to keep reincarnating, because we're falling for this whole divide and conquer trick. Your energy, you got low frequency. The ancestors weren't shallow and divisive like us, bro. We are the product of Rome. We're the children of Rome. That's why we think like this. But in the old world, it wasn't nothing like that. Everybody was just working together, building heaven on earth. It wasn't even no such thing as nations yet. There was no such thing as flags. It was just one big ass world, and we was just humans sharing the knowledge we had with each other, expanding it all around the world. And we was doing that for millions of years. So there were technological empires all around the world with the same symbols. And when we see these symbols all around the world, we think, oh, this must be Egypt stuff. No, Egypt don't got a monopoly on knowledge, man. Again, that's your Freemasonic programming. That's your fucking programming that the Western world gave to you. Because they said civilization started in Egypt. You believe everything these people say, that's your programming.
Egyptians. We're going to make that as clear as day, and it'll be so plain. The evidence I'm going to present to you will be so plain that it's undeniable. But I want to continue playing this for you.
Of Egypt of today, despite their skin tone, that they call us as invaders, they call us as intruders, and they are being erased from our own history. It's not about black.
So that's correct. You were invaders, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. History is really just the recounting of various wars that.
Let's go and see. He's wrong too, and I'm gonna show you why he's wrong. But let me play it in normal speed. That seems kind of fast. I wanted to play it fast, but we'll keep it normal. It may be too fast for y'all.
By their skin tone, that they call us as invaders, they call us as intruders, and they are being erased from our own history. It's not about black.
So that's correct. You were invaders, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. History is really just the recounting of various wars that have occurred. And
that's why I disagree with him at. According to our ancestors, you breaking the law of karma. And you practicing the way of the barbarian when you taking and invading and all that. And I get it. We've been converted to the ways of the barbarian. So we say, hey, it's nothing wrong with you raping the children, pillaging these people land, throwing the babies to alligators. Bro, something very wrong with that. And our attempts to be politically correct. And like I said, we're trying to integrate today. This brother is speaking from I don't want to really piss off the establishment too much, but I do want to reinforce the Freemason agenda. That's the vibes I'm getting, right? And the thing is, you ain't gonna piss off the establishment reinforcing these agendas. But he got to act like that to give himself some authentic, like what I'm saying is targeted, right? They're targeting this. But when you think about it, they've been telling us we Egyptians for the longest, bro. You don't have a Nat Geo cover and think they're trying to hide it from you. If it was some big deal to say blacks ain't the Egyptians, bro, they'll be doing what the Tether's doing about us with the FBA thing. Think about it, right? We ain't gonna act like us calling ourselves Egyptians is giving the same response of us calling ourselves foundational black Americans. The two don't compete. It's not even it's not even close. It's not even close. I can show you white people all over saying blacks are Egyptians. Try to find some saying that we the foundational Americans though. Hey, listen, go up to a white veteran, a white war veteran, and say, hey man, blacks built this country, and watch how red he turned. Now go up to that same white war veteran and say, hey man, you know that black people are the original man and woman of the earth. He ain't gonna trip about that. If you go up to him with a pharaoh hat on and a dashiki and say, man, you know, we was kings and queens, we the real Egyptians, that white man ain't gonna trip about that. But go up to that white man, that patriot, with his American flag, and tell him blacks are the original Americans and we built this country. You damn near might have to protect yourself. You might have to protect yourself doing that. Bro, ain't nobody gonna trip with you calling yourself no damn Egyptian. I'm just saying. It's just not. It's so outdated to keep. It's cringe. Like to be defending Egypt in FBA 2026 right now. You feel me? Like, let it go, man. We don't want to be Egyptians no more. It didn't work. Even if we are the real Egyptians, no one respected that shit when we was claiming it. But this FBA shit, oh, it's making them realize, bro. It's making them realize. So let's stick to what's working, man. That's right. Let's stick to what's working. That's my little humble opinion.
Clearly the victors rewrite history. So now let's go ahead and learn something, if you don't mind, from a teacher.
Cause I swear we ain't losing nothing by not claiming Egypt, bro.
So do confirm when you're able to share see my screen. I want to share with you a slide. I'm going to make this very simple. You see, one thing I pride my...
I guarantee you his slide is going to be based on lookership. Look at me. Look at this Egyptian statue. That's not science. And I hope I'm wrong. Please don't come with the lookership, bro.
Myself on.
Because that's keeping our people dumbed down. See, our people really need to be going to their local libraries and get with they damn elders and their grandfathers. They need to be talking to the old lady that's still alive in their hood, because she know your family members. See, we're not talking to each other as a community and falling in love with doing the work on our own genealogy to see who we are, starting at our mama, working your way back to grandma. Guess what? We skipping all our rich family history, listening to what the experts say who we are. You robbing yourself. You smacking your ancestors in the face, and you're not delineating, because the word delineate is based upon lineage. You need to know who you are by doing the research, not by listening to nobody. Marquette can't tell you who you are. He ain't your grandmother and your grandfathers, bro. Just like the white man can't tell you who you are, the black man can't, the orange man can't, the green man can't. If you want to know who you are, quit being lazy. Go talk to your family. Go do your genealogy, because this ain't it. This ain't it. It's not. It's a lazy way that's keeping us appropriating identities that don't serve us, that are outdated. We shed this shit like snakes shed skin. Egypt just another skin we shedded that wasn't working for us. Leave that shit behind. I never saw a snake go pick back up the skin that it shedded. Have y'all ever saw that? That snake looked good in his new skin. That's FBA. We look good in this FBA shit, bro. So we ain't trying to go back and pick that old skin up that we shedded and left way back there, bro. We moving on in our new beautiful skin, FBA.
That's right.
Is the ability to teach anyone. So I make the lessons very simple and clear such that the facts and the truth are undeniable. So pay attention to this. Now, let me, so I can't full screen that. Okay, so I'm going to enlarge this here. Now, the gentleman.
That brother, hey, shout out to the OG One World, One Hood, man. Shout out to Wisdom, Thought, Terraformer. Hey, matter of fact, clap it up for all my channel members. What am I doing? Come on, man. You see the people in the chat room that's highlighted green? Those are the channel sponsors, and I just want y'all to make sure we respecting the sponsors. They got ranks and badges by their name, and I appreciate y'all. And my brother Terraformer said that's right. Now, it is right, though, because it's like the brother MJN just said something very powerful. Talking with someone saying they Egyptian is no different than talking back and forward with the tether.
That's right.
And I said something similar to that a minute ago. And what did I tell y'all this brother was gonna do? What did I tell y'all he was gonna do, y'all? Lookership. Lookership. Check this out now. What did I tell y'all? I said a brother ain't gonna get scientific, right? He gonna pull up a picture of himself and a picture of an Egyptian and say, because I look like this, we the Egyptians. Don't you know that there's statues in Egypt with white Egyptians too? Bro, this is madness. Let me show y'all something. If all we gotta do is go to Egypt and find a statue that look like us, then the white man is an Egyptian too. What's his name? King Tut? This is a white dude right here. Let's pull up King Tut. Because you got a white Tut and a black Tut. Because the name Tut in Egypt is a common name. Like Yo in Asia. And I'll tell you another one. It's a whole section in Egypt just for the white pharaohs. If you ever take a tour to Egypt, they will take you to where the white pharaohs are buried at. So you got statues in Egypt of white pharaohs. And when the white folks go to Egypt, guess what the white tour guides do? Take them to see the white statues. And when the blacks go, you see the trick? Egypt is a scam, bro, for real. For real. I'm gonna show you these white pharaohs, because when I put white statues, it literally wanted to put statues that are painted white, so that wasn't a good search. So you got Hyksos statues in Egypt too. Hyksos can be found in Egypt too. At some point, Egypt was like America. It was multicultural. People will say, well, it wasn't always that way, or it became that way later, or we was first and they came later. But the whole thing is, it's different variations of, like, white folks will come and claim this and say, well, the Egyptians were white. And for years, the black teachers and the white teachers have been tug of war for Egypt. And the white tour guides will go straight to some that look like them, and they'll say, see, this is a white man. And that's all. It's been a lookership battle. But you know what I like to say? Why ain't nobody done DNA tests? You got mummies right there, nigga.
That's right.
I want you to think about what I just said. You hear what I just said? Yeah, we can go to Egypt and see all different groups. I would argue that you would see more black presence. I would also argue that the black people we calling Egyptians would treat us like tethers if we go over there. Now, what y'all saying? Sanchez, that's just today. But if we go back in time, we are the black Egyptians. Nope, there were black people in America too. So which black group were we? The trick is all of these different colors and skin tones was everywhere. The world was a melting pot. You know why? Humans been living on this earth for trillions of years, mating with each other, moving around, traveling. So it's hard to find anywhere in the world that just got one group only. Even when you go to China, Chinese come in all colors. So a person may say, but the Chinese people yellow, and you're stupid because you're wrong. When you go to China, it's white Chinese, black Chinese, yellow, they got all the skin tone. You got to teach niggas this too. Let's do it again. People who don't go nowhere. People who do go places, but they don't pay attention. They still repeat Prince Hall Freemasonry, so it don't do them no good to travel. If you go to Asia, you're gonna see every skin tone. Like, y'all gotta quit thinking that your color is your ethnicity. That's a lie they telling us in America, bro. You know what? I'm gonna feel sorry for a lot of black people. Cause y'all gonna finally go and travel out of America one day and your feelings gonna be hurt. Your feeling. When I was in South Korea, I saw so many black folks and they didn't have shit to do with black folks in America. These people was a totally different kind of goddamn culture. When I was in Korea, I saw Koreans that were brown skinned, yellow skin, and Koreans that were high pale white. And something clicked in me like, damn, it's different skin tones with everybody. And I felt stupid. Some of y'all gonna leave out of America for the first time. You're gonna have a culture shock and you're gonna see how stupid we are. How we don't really travel like that. You're gonna go and you're gonna still have stupid folk that like, I don't know about that, man. You telling me that Asians come in all colors? Yes. Yes. So does Hondurans, Ecuadorians, bro. Like, really? Damn, but I can't be mad at y'all because when I went to South Korea as a young man, I was stupid too. And everybody said, there go another dumbass American. And what make Americans not likable ain't that we don't know everything. It's that we're stupid and you can't tell us nothing either.
That's right.
You can't correct us either. You can show Americans and they still won't believe you because the indoctrination is so hard in you. Niggas don't think that it's different. And it's Asians that'll tell you, man, we've been in Asia since the beginning of time. It's black Asians that's FBAs too, nigga. They the foundational black Asiatics. Meaning they the black group that's been in that land since the beginning of time, and it ain't got nothing to do with you. You need to trace your lineage. You might be some kin to them, you might not, but you don't got the right to just claim people's shit by saying, I look like him, so he look like me. That's what tethers do. When tethers come to America, they want to group everybody in a bucket by saying we look like black people, so we black. Now we trying to do that with Egypt. It's hypocritical, bro. It make FBA look like hypocrites. FBA cannot practice lookership because when we do it, we're now doing what the tethers do. The tethers gonna eat this up all day. They gonna say, wait a minute now. You calling me a tether, by telling you we all just black. Because we look alike, but you're going to turn around and say the same thing, but only you ain't using the word African, you using the word Egyptian. I think that's hypocritical, FBA. Ain't no way we're going to go in on these tethers like that for trying to make us all Africans just because we look alike. And then we turn around and try to make all of us now Egyptians because we look alike. Because the tethers that we saying ain't us, they look like the Egyptians too. Do you hear me? The people we saying tethers who ain't black just because they look like us, we can't turn around and say, well, all of us Egyptians because we look like this statue. It's a joke now. That's hypocrisy. We really look like a joke doing that, bro. Because when you go through Egypt, you will see pharaohs with various features. You can't say the people in Africa don't look like the Egyptians while also saying we look like the people in Africa, which is why we got to be careful because they tethers and they infiltrating us. Y'all double talking. You don't see that? You can't say, well, we look like the Egyptians, but they don't. But saying they look like us. So we got to be careful because they look like us. They can be a tether. We got to investigate them and ask them questions. Why? Because they look like us. They blend in. So how you going to say, well, we look like the Egyptians, but the tethers don't? Man, this shit getting stupid, bro. It's getting stupid, and I'm finna stop talking about this shit out the wild. Because I know that I'm FBA, and it's just a headache with the stupidity. Like, it make me question, what are we doing? Are we here to teach knowledge and really tell the truth? Or perpetuate shit that don't serve us, and that's just obviously can be debunked?
Bassem Youssef, which is an Arabic name, which comes from the Arabic language, which is connected to the Arab people who come from Saudi Arabia, that Arab peninsula. Every person that you look at has racial features that are connected to either the Mongoloid, the Caucasoid, or...
And he's speaking the language of Darwinism. All of the oids are bullshit. The Mongoloids, Caucasoids, steroids, negroids, all that's bullshit, nigga. It's two types of humans on Earth, man and mankind. Either you got a inner voice or you don't. All of them oids, they never existed in the past. If you was talking to an Egyptian, he'll say, what the hell is a Mongoloid, my man? We're trying to explain our past through the eyes and terminology of our enemy and his sciences. Then we're trying to debate him about his shit. It's very interesting.
Or the Negroid racial category. Ethnicities and histories are generally connected to racial realities, right? So,
but your race ain't got nothing to do with your skin. Bro, your race is more than your skin color. We keep telling the tethers that. The tethers keep trying to act like they are part of our race, right? And how do they do it? By saying, we all black. And what do we tell them? Bro, your race is deeper than just your skin color. Yeah, you black like me, but you're not my culture. How don't we get that Jamaicans are black, Haitians are black, Nigerians are black, but them three different cultures. And even within them, you can break down to more cultures. This dude just said he educated. He went to college, right? Berkeley? I don't believe it. Show me the degree.
So now let's take a look. I've already identified for you guys in the past certain racial features that are common among a given.
You cannot make mistakes like this if you graduated Berkeley. Now, I know a lot of people gonna like this and share this because this is the misinformation that we've been victims of for so long. But even our professors and educated people will tell you, your skin color ain't your race, man. You think all people with white skin share the same race? Bro, no. Hell no. God. But see, what I'm teaching now gotta be like 9th grade shit. It gotta be low grade level shit that you should know as a black person. Race ain't got nothing to do with your skin color. We're talking science here, people. I'm so tired of us having low IQ, man.
I've already identified for you guys in the past certain racial features that are common among a given group. Now, the Arab is not a pure archetype representing one of the racial categories. They fit best into the Caucasoid category. What you should observe from a feature standpoint, I put my photo, I put King Tutankhamun. So this is clearly one of the pharaohs from the pyramid building era of Egyptian history. And the farther back you go in Egyptian history, the blacker it gets. Now, I want you guys to notice.
I'm going to drop the link too. I ain't doing nothing but kicking facts. If you want to be an Egyptian, do your genealogy. Do your blood work. Not blood work, you know what I mean? Do your genealogy. Because genealogy is, to me, is the accurate way to go. Do your that's genetics. Who we are is written in our genetics. And if you really want to know who you are, you wouldn't ask nobody. You'll go within. You can't learn everything from strangers, especially when you look in the mirror and look yourself in the eye and say, who am I? Who am I, literally? You got to think, who gave me these eyes? My mama, my daddy, who gave them their eyes, they grandma. You got to get to know these people. You got people that don't know nothing about their great-great-granddaddy, but they got books written by all these white professors and different black scholars and experts telling them they're Egyptians. These people were Freemasons. You know what they teach in Freemasonry? That all blacks are Egyptians. That's what they teach. That comes from Freemasonry and the fraternal, the black Greeks. Think about this, right? If it still ain't sinking in, think about this. You don't find it crazy that the black Greeks are the ones that ushered in the Egyptian appropriation? Now watch this. We don't just live in a Greco-Roman Empire. We live in a Greco-Egyptian Empire. So you're a black Greek. You hear what I'm saying? You're a black Greek. Saying you're an Egyptian. What are you? A Greco-Egyptian. Go look up the Greco-Egyptian Empire. You will see this is the empire that destroyed our people, bro. You will see that when the Greeks and Egyptians merged together, that's what we're in now. What we call Rome is not just Rome, it's Greco-Rome, which is why you got a pyramid on your dollar, which is why you see so much Egyptian symbolism in America, like the golden calf, that bull on Wall Street, which is Hathor. You see the serpent symbolism all over the place that come from Egypt. Moses lifted up the serpent. He learned from the Egyptians. When the Greeks and the Egyptians came together, the result was the Roman Empire. They didn't call it the Greco-Egyptian Empire. It's operating today as the Roman Catholic Church. You know why they want blacks to be Egyptians? Because they want you to be the group responsible for enslaving the children of Israel, even though we are the real children of Israel. Now, if you want to go with the biblical narrative, blacks wouldn't be the Egyptians. We would be the children of God who was enslaved and tortured If you really read the Bible, which he does, which he said he subscribed to the Bible, and that's why I'm saying this is hypocritical. This brother says he's a saint. That's a biblical term. I've heard him. Now, I know he's not a Christian, but I've heard him reference the Bible. That don't make him a Christian. But I know Captain Tazariak was on his show. I would like to hear them two debate. Are blacks the Israelites, or we the damn Egyptians that enslaved the Israelites? The Israelites was said to be a very spiritual people that was connected to God, which is the universe, because we got a pineal gland. The Egyptians, they didn't care nothing about nothing but gold and money. The pharaohs wore makeup and eyeliner and skirts. I'm not making it up. Beauty was a thing. They had a beauty department where you can go and, remember, Egyptians also brought us into modern medicine and away from healing and treatment. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Imhotep was the father of medicine, but before the fathers, we had the mothers in the field with the herbs. See, Imhotep is the father of medicine, and the word medicine, come on, bro, that's a dead giveaway. Medicine ain't healing. In the medicinal industry, you can't cure anything. You just got to treat stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, they cure certain stuff, but you get what I'm saying. They treatment. We talking something different. If you want to be a natural healer, that's different than being a doctor, right? Dr. Sebi wasn't a doctor by modern terms. Doctors would hate Dr. Sebi because Dr. Sebi is a natural herbalist and healer, and that's where Jesus would have been. Now, the Caesars in Rome would have had a industrialized medical system to treat the peasants, but it wouldn't have been nothing major because it was so many peasants and they was taking a lot of the tax money for themselves, and they didn't care if the peasants got sick or if they had certain illnesses. And look at the world today. You're in Rome. So you had the mothers of the field who were called witches. They were put to death if they would cure you and heal you. Jesus was healing people and they put him to death, y'all. So I'm telling you right now, we're not, if you want to go biblically, by the Bible, biblically, we would be the children of Israel, and you can't be them both. If strictly going by the Bible, right? Strictly going by the Bible, if we had to pick out our identity, we would definitely be the group that was enslaved, beat up, and all that. So I'm telling you, the Hebrew Israelites are more accurate when it comes to our biblical identity than the Hotepers, than the goddamn Pan-Africans and all them. Because our people went through a lot. And you can't read nowhere in history where the Egyptians went through that. And when the Egyptians did go through it, it took place in Egypt. We talking about the 400, 500 years of persecution our people went through here. Because even if we are the Egyptians, we will have to go take that up with the Egyptian government if it took place on that land. So when it comes like making the argument that we the Egyptians is the least scientific argument of all of them. You got a better chance going with us being Moors, Hebrews, the first Americans, than putting us in Northeast Africa, though. And I ain't saying we weren't there. I'm just saying that's going to be harder to prove than our presence in America, which is being downplayed. Ain't nobody downplaying us being Egyptians. You got this one white dude. Bro, why we even worry about him when we all on Nat Geo saying we the Egyptians, bro? Everybody, they got this, it's been known. It's a stigma that we the black Egyptians, that the Egyptians is us. So even if the world didn't think we were the Egyptians, it wouldn't really be wise to use our energy trying to prove we are Egyptians. Because why? We don't live in Egypt.
That's right.
Where you live at right now, they trying to play with you, man, and say you didn't contribute nothing to the land that you actually own. And when they was telling us for years, black people ain't contribute nothing to America. They've been here all this time and ain't made no contributions, right? When they was telling us that, we was pointing to Egypt. And it was kind of making them look like they telling the truth. Because we weren't pointing to nothing here. To say, well, that's a damn lie. We did this right here in America. That's why FBA is so important. And I think we need to spend the next 10 years teaching about our contributions right here, bro. Because that's what they're downplaying. That's what, and the whole world on that bandwagon, that we ain't contributing that here in America. And they saying we didn't make hip hop. None of that. They taking all of that, bro. So guess what? If you didn't grow up like I grew up, you probably wouldn't know this. I'm speaking from my experience too. Because a lot of young folks, I don't even know if it's true for them today. I'm sure it is. But I'm going to say this. It's like they got amnesia with our accomplishments and achievements here in America. Because you can tell them, man, hey, blacks built the pyramids. They'll say, hey, that might be a possibility. We think aliens may have built them too. I'm going to tell you what these folks hate. When you say, hey, black people built America. That hit different, dude. That hit a certain way, I'm telling you. I know it hit a certain way. If it didn't, FBA wouldn't be making the noise it's making now. See, we've discovered something with FBA. We've discovered what everybody been trying to keep us from claiming. And that's our greatness here. Because when they was downplaying our greatness here, we weren't even really defending it. We was still defending Egypt while people telling us we ain't built none in America. Guess what we was saying? Look at the pyramids we built in Egypt. What you mean we didn't build none in America? That's indirectly defending yourself versus saying we did build some in America and I can show you what we built in America. It make me wonder, do we even know our rich history in America? See, and that's why Tariq Nasheed is blowing up. Because guess what I'm realizing? Most black people don't even know their American history, bro. Stop me when I lie. Niggas will tell you about Egypt till they blue in the face. And you ask them, can you name me 50 black American inventors? No, just 5. I don't know 5 black American inventors, Sanchez, but I can tell you 50 pharaohs damn story. And everybody, listen, that's why I'm telling y'all can hate on Tariq Nasheed all you want, but he's in his own lane. Ain't nobody else trying to teach our greatness in this land. Everybody else still on the Egypt shit. Still on the we don't live in Turkey. To my Moorish brothers out there, we don't live in Turkey, man. Like, even if we did build some in Turkey, bro, we live here and we look like we wearing costumes when we walk around America with this different foreign shit on, if you got that much pride in what we built over there, then why don't you move your ass back over there? Why you walking around America dressed like a pharaoh and shit? Niggas thinking it's Halloween. If you feel that much about it, why don't you move there? It's cheaper. And it look better according to you. You get to see the pyramids every day. They in your backyard, my nigga.
That's right.
You really over here giving us a neo-pagan religion. That's what they doing. That's what they doing. And I'm so glad that Tariq Nasheed doing what he doing. I can't go out to Tariq no more because it don't matter what his flaws are, his importance to our people, hands down. You can't deny you'll be a hater. Can't no other dude compare, not even me at this time. Because he's strictly focusing on American black greatness. He ain't getting off it for nothing. You can't sway him one video to go the Pan-African route, the Egyptian route. See, you can do that with even me. I'm a little bit nice. I'll tell you, look, man, you know, I ain't mad at my Egyptian brothers and See, I ain't mad at them. I know Tariq ain't mad at them, but I'm saying, look, I'm willing to, because I was a Pan-African. I'm going to be honest, right? So even when you hear some of my raps, you may still even hear. Like even, for example, I'm not even that fascinated with Egypt. I think people don't even know that the Dogon was smarter than the Egyptians.
That's right.
Yeah, y'all didn't know that. Drop a 1 if you agree, drop a 2 if you don't. I want the smoke. In my opinion, the Dogon probably taught the Egyptians just like they teach everybody else in Africa. When anthropologists want to go know something about the stars, they go in the jungles. They don't go to big, beautiful, pretty Egypt. But Sanchez, the Egyptians lost all that knowledge, but the Dogon maintained it, so they smarter, nigga. The Egyptians lost their empire too to many groups. So I'm not saying the Egyptians are dumb. I'm saying the Egyptians got wiped out with the rest of Tartaria. Again, the Egyptians were part of a pre-Babel worldwide empire that got wiped out with the Egyptians. Now, this the history they don't tell y'all. This the history they deleted. But yeah, when Egypt fell, it wasn't just Egypt. Tartaria fell, and Egypt was a part of Tartaria. And y'all need to go research Grand Tartary. Let me show you the symbol of Grand Tartary so you can see that the Tartarians were Egyptians. Because the symbol of Egypt was Satan. Yep, the winged dragon. The Egyptians were, their symbol was the serpent. And the serpent represented the Kundalini to him, not no damn monster under the ground. So when Moses learned from the Egyptians to lift up the serpent, they was telling you what the Egyptians was on. Let me show you. People don't research, man. So watch this, right? Boom. This is what the Egyptians was on. You see that symbol right there? That's from Egypt. That's talking about the Kundalini, the central nervous system. Right there. That's Moses' symbol on the right. That's the Egyptian one on the left. This the American dollar symbol now because they changed what currency means. Currency was dealing with the flow of energy down the chakras, down the spinal cord. So we didn't have a monetary social system. We had a spiritual system. The people who had these, look, you know, it what people may say, well, if it wasn't no money, how we bought stuff? You didn't have to. You just was free to eat from the tree. Like no one owned shit. It's so hard for us to picture a world without a motherfucker ruling over us. That's sad. You got Christians, even they believe the Bible. It tells them about the Garden of Eden before we had earthly rulers. Everyone was in paradise, but they still can't wrap their head around a world without massa. Yeah, you slave-minded mother. Like, relax. There was a time when there was no other man governing you. Government is new. We didn't need people governing us when we knew how to behave. Because the first thing people say is, but Sanchez, wouldn't the world be out of control without a government? The world got out of control when we got a government. Y'all backwards. Humans started being evil when the church started governing us. So before that, the golden age, when people was getting along, you didn't even need prisons, because people weren't talking about it. Money wasn't around. It was about I am self-law and master, Islam. And the Islam they practice in the day is just Abrahamic papal programming all over again, repackaged with the Quran. So that ain't the true Islam. But people in the past was under a Gale system. They didn't exchange money. You lived a certain way based upon what you contributed to the society. And the system that they had is what built all of these beautiful buildings we see around the world that's still standing from the Victorian age. The Pilgrims didn't build that. That come from an old world Gale system that was deleted from history. And that was built without money. See, when you paying somebody with money, they ain't gonna do their best. They gonna do exactly what you paid for. But if we take money out the picture and I tell you, listen, all the work of your hands is gonna form a reputation with you. That's your resume. Everybody in society gonna know you by the work you done. If you tell a man that, he gonna put 100% in every job he do, because he know his value in society is based upon the work of his hands and the quality of it, not a paper fiat dollar. That means your value come directly from what you know and your expertise. Ain't no way you can blackball a person in a society like that. The Roman Empire created money so they can middleman in between everybody and tax you and tax. So this system is flawed and is not our system. If we want to reclaim our greatness, like this brother saying he trying to do, then why don't we quit practicing the system of our enemy too? Why don't we quit? See, we like to say we are the Egyptians with a surface level look, but we don't want to operate like the Egyptians and practice ma'at. We love being capitalists. You see, when we identify with Egypt, it's because money come from Egypt. Wealth, beauty, the vanities that the oppressor adopted from Egypt too. That's why he put the pyramid on the dollar. You know what they didn't adopt from Egypt? Equality, liberation, ma'at. And you know what I'm finding out about black people? We like to pick and choose too, man.
That's right.
We like to only dress up like our ancient ancestors, but we don't like to act like them. If you go and tell these dudes the Egyptians said the earth was flat, then they gonna laugh at the Egyptians while claiming to be one. They will tell you how great the Egyptians are. But then when you say, well, they thought the earth was flat. See, they don't want to really, you faking the phone. You don't really want to identify fully with your ancients. You want to identify with the shit with your ancestors that the world accept. The stuff they laugh at about our ancestors, you laugh with them. Yeah, I don't know what my ancestors was on with that one. I ain't like that, bro. I'm standing all the way with the ancestors. I'm saying they was right about everything, and in fact, they taught your ass. How you letting the man who didn't know who he was tell you who he is? Instead of listening to your great-grandmother and forefathers, we go to the white man. Then we act like we love Egypt, but we pick and choose what we love out of it. It just be crazy to me.
Something. Look at the lips of Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, we can all agree, is a European white man, right? We all agree Piers Morgan is a European.
But guess what? You can't tell white people by their lips, because then you going to get to Italy and get thrown off. We got to stop doing this. Hold on. Let me pull up some Italian people. Let me put what they call them in Italy. See, I'm going to give you a good example. In Italy, you got big nose, full lip white people. They don't get treated well by the other whites. You know that? And to us, that's more proof, right? That Italians have Negro features that we mix with them. I don't think so. Every time you bring up like the lip thing, this the first group people go to. Now, I don't know anymore. Armenians, they got full features, right? But I don't look at all that as I'm better. I think we all diverse. Think about what black women doing. They getting the pinched nose look now. The little slim nose, like Little Kim and Nicki Minaj. They don't want their full nose no more. They want to look like other races. And then you will see them other races try to get big lips. So I think people just want to be everything they ain't, every group, not just one of them. But that's neither here nor there. Let me show you something. Armenians, they are big nose, big lip people, let's just say. Right? Now I'll show you what they look like. Oh, matter of fact, yeah, Kim Kardashian is an Armenian. Somebody was telling me that. But yeah, Armenians, they don't got little lips and little noses. They got full features. You know what's crazy? The saint and the sinner, he travels. Well, I don't know if he traveled or not like that. But I think he do travel. I don't know if he travel internationally like that. But I'm going to tell you right now, bro. He's making rookie mistakes. He's really making rookie mistakes. It's called lookership. It makes you make rookie mistakes. Because big lips ain't exclusive to black folks. Small lips ain't exclusive to white folks. We've been lied to, guys. And I know we want to believe that. And it's always that black chick with a small ass who feel left out. Like, am I really black? Like, listen, blackness ain't a big ass and dark skin. What? And this is crazy, man. People will tell you your skin tone is your race. They will start describing physical features and they will say, that's your race. And so that's why when we leave America and go around the world, you may see this thick, bad woman with big lips, all that. And you may say, that's a black woman. You know they got black women over here and then... Bro, it's not a black woman because she got a big butt, big lips, and dark skin. Americans have low IQ. Because lookership really makes us look dumb when we go around the world, bro. And I've seen niggas do that. They'll see features they see on their grandmother and mama on other women and say, you know, they got black women over there too. Yeah, go over there and call that woman black and see what she says. And then them dummies will sit there and argue with the lady. But look at your big old butt. Look at them big old lips, man. You black, man. No, you black, man. You black. Us black folks got, look at my lips and look at your lips. Look, do like this. See, we black. I told you. Like, are you that, really? Bro, black people, when we go overseas, we really embarrassed. Like, our American way of saying stuff, and I didn't know this till I went to Korea. I swear, that's why I gotta take it easy on y'all. I would be a hypocrite if I joked too much, because I was just there. Like, when what's gonna happen, what's gonna pop your cherry is when you really get out there. You gonna stop saying stuff like black folks got the big lips, bro. You go to Armenia, go to Italy. You gonna see some thick niggas will say, man, the Kardashians bought all they ass and white women now starting to get ass. That's the stuff you hear. And I be like, bro, white women been had ass. I had to tell them the other day, like, y'all can't be from the South, especially not Texas, because they ain't lying when they say everything big in Texas. And it's crazy because we will still repeat this stuff no matter how wrong it is. And it's because when you repeat, like, that's like niggas will what you don't know don't hurt you. Niggas will tell you that. But yeah, what you don't know will hurt you, man. But we gonna keep repeating that, because if you repeat something long enough, it's just there in the fabric of society. No one question it. Oh yeah, that's right. I know that's right. No, that's wrong. If you just sit there and think about it, it's wrong. And it's hard to convince people stuff we've been repeating for years like that is wrong, right? Because our mind treats consistency as truth. And that's how we believe in so many lies. That's all indoctrination is. If you tell a lie long enough, people will accept it as truth, basically. But we really need to re-examine everything we've been told, because we've been told it for sinister purposes, to keep us from knowing something very powerful about ourselves. And it's hidden behind division. See, because what the Freemasons and the Boule, the college, the frat boys will do, they will use emotionalism to try to debate me. You don't want to be an Egyptian? You giving that glory away? Look at these big lips. You don't like your big lips? You don't like your black skin? You dating a white woman? You know that's gonna come. They gonna go that route, not logic, not reasoning. I will never get nobody to debate me straight up with science, facts, and reason. That's how it goes with these guys, bro, because it's part of the agenda, man. The Boule is still alive and well, man. Better believe that.
European white man. If you look at his lips, they're pretty much non-existent. Now you look at Bassem Youssef's lips, they're also non-existent. They fit into the Caucasoid racial category. This is why you see a lot of white girls getting these lip injections, because their natural racial features leaves them with very thin lips.
Now listen, black women love to hear this. They love to hear we got the biggest asses, biggest lips, biggest that. But again, when you go to Africa, them women over there, them Nigerians, Libyans, all them, they thick too. Thames and all them, right? Now, when we look at those Africans shaped like our women, what do we say? It's 'cause they black women. But soon as them African women who shaped like our women come to America and start tethering, we say, y'all ain't black, you a tether. You see the problem with what we doing? In other words, we're shooting ourselves in the foot for this reason. Let me explain. Delineation is us saying you no longer can claim black just by having a big ass, big lips, just because you said, girl, because them tethers come over here and do that too, don't it, black women? That's why I said the FBA shit is I don't want to say it's a joke, but we got to be on code and on team with this, because we can't be shooting ourselves in. If we working going forward, we can't be going backward too. Because we're literally telling folks we shutting the door on all that, just infiltrating our group just because you look like us and share features like us. We want to know who your mama is, what's your lineage. That's what I like about Tariq Nasheed. When somebody call into his show, he don't give a damn what the size of your lips is, nigga. Tariq gonna ask your ass, bro, what's your ethnicity? That's what I'm gonna ask folks. Drop a one if that's what you own. Like, I'm not trying, how big her ass is. Okay, she black. Let me see her lips. They big, no, no, bro. Them days is over. Them days is over. And what I'm talking about is this too. If we're gonna play like that, then people can do us like that too. When we try to tether onto Egypt. You don't get what I'm saying? Call in. Somebody please call in. Let me check the lines. It's like we're doing to Egypt what the tethers is doing to us. Even though we don't need to claim Egypt, because FBA is the shit, nigga. It's the most influential shit in the world. Why would I copy off what the tether's doing to claim some that ain't even serving me? That's like some boule Freemasonic undermining type stuff. In my opinion, in my respectful opinion.
Furthermore, let us look at another racial feature that manifests itself in the white or European human, which I've pointed out before. Their nose comes from the brow. So this brow bone, their nose pretty much shoots down, and also they tend to have larger, bigger noses.
Are we serious, bro? This is the most lookership. Hold on, dog. Are we going to just talk about physical features? Like Kendrick Lamar said, it ain't enough. It's not enough. It's not science. It's not thorough. It's just not factual. This is not what it looks like to prove something without a shadow of a doubt. You know, we can do this in every country too. We can find negroid features, if you will, all over the earth, which is why you got black folks saying we the Moors, which we are, you know. But like I said, we're claiming this stuff like it was exclusively ours. And that's because we only have little bits and pieces of history. We shared a unified, we were black people, what we call black people today. We were part of a worldwide united empire called Grand Tartary, which, by the way, I forgot to show y'all the symbol of Grand Tartary. The symbol of Grand Tartary was cursed. It was turned into the devil today. This is the symbol of our old world spiritual system. Let me share it with you. Look at it. This is Satan, the dragon that no one likes today. And don't you know this is also the Sphinx? It became the Sphinx, as many forms of it. But when you look at the Sphinx in Egypt, it was all part of an old world empire that was interconnected. So Egypt's Sphinx isn't exclusive to Egypt. It's called a griffin, and you can find them all over the world, not just in Egypt, y'all. They don't want you to know that Egypt was not exclusive and Egypt wasn't a monolith. The entire world was already integrated. And they don't want us to know a lot of truth, man. Like everything we've been taught, there's way more to know. And you can't just go with what they're telling you. You got to do your own research too. Don't be lazy. Don't sit around all day while other folks research and try to debate them with only what you've been told when they know what they've been told plus what they've researched on their own. You see what I'm saying? That's arrogance. That's ego. Everybody know what they told us. Like, come on, man. You show up repeating that while we challenging that, bro. That's when you're being intelligent and smart. How much smarts does it take to repeat what you've been told versus to question and challenge it? Right. So here go the symbol of Grand Tartary right here, which is what they call the devil today. Because this was the symbol of our Kundalini. This the phoenix bird. It's a winged serpent. This symbol that we see in Grand Tartary evolved. It became what's called the Metachai lions. And if you look at how this dragon is holding his hands, let me show you. All of the Metachai lions are holding their hands like that. Look at it. You see? This is research. This is called syncretism, not lookership. Facts, data, archaeology, artifacts. I'm showing you the history of a symbol. I'm not claiming nobody's identity. And see, that's the thing. You got to have honesty. I'm only going to make claims that I've researched. This is the symbol that the Egyptians had this too. So everyone had a different derivation of this, you know, but it was cursed and became the devil when they destroyed Tartary. Because everybody in Tartary, including Moses, again, the symbol was the serpent. And that's what we looking at here, the serpent. This was the symbol of Tartary and of Egypt, all of the serpents and stuff. So I ain't here to get into the serpent symbolism, which ain't why I'm not sharing a lot about it. But as you can see here, it's a Metachai lion. But the Sphinx is also a Metachai lion. It's not just a lion. It's like a Metachai lion. These were like good luck lions. They were there for healing and all that, which is why Jesus is a lion and he's a healer too. Because the default template of healing was the Metachai lion or the serpents, which we still have in the hospital today. We still use the serpents. So what's up with the serpent and the lion? We see it all in Egypt. These are important symbols in Egypt. They was important everywhere though. Everywhere. Like I said, it wasn't exclusive to Egypt. The Ankh was not exclusive to Egypt. You find the Ankh, and that's something right there. Panning everything to Africa deletes all of the knowledge of the world and just makes everyone look to Egypt. And guess why the Freemasons want y'all to do that? Because Egypt represent one of the empires in the world union that we had around the world because everyone was getting along. It was peace. Egypt and what you call Rome and all that, you had. When we talk about a civil war infighting, y'all ain't been told a true story. The real civil war was when the old world order was dismantled by Greece and Egypt and China. Basically the 7 world empires, the 7 world superpowers that's ruling today. Them were the kingdoms around the world that turned on the old world order. And that's why you see so many lost civilizations in the jungle. So when you see these old civilizations in America and China, those weren't owned by the Chinese. They weren't owned by this government, right? These were separate power these were separate kingdoms that were all networked with other kingdoms too. But now you got a lot of ruins in the jungle. Those would have been operational kingdoms that we would be living in right now. But we've been captured and we're on their energy grid now. But if you go in these Grand Canyon, you go like in the Amazon, you still see ruins of people that was living in places that's just bare now, ain't nothing there. And the state on that land, because you got conquered and we been bred in a controlled environment and terraformed with all kind of jabs and medicines and stuff in the air they spraying, keeping their slaves there like cattle, like farmers with a herd, you know, of cows, spraying them and putting their shots in them. So that's what happened when we became property of these folks. They want you to live a certain age and all that. And, you know, of course, when you get in good with them, they'll give you all the perks and good stuff and you can live long like the vampires in Hollywood. But to some of y'all, this is just pseudoscience and conspiracy theory. So I ain't gonna go too far into that. Let's get back to the video. I'm having fun.
There's an indentation, in fact, here, and then the note.
We need people to hit the like button, hit the share button. Let's see if anyone hit any more donations. All right, appreciate it. I'm gonna set a goal. Let's see if we can. I'm gonna do a small goal. Let's see if we can do 10 super chats for $10. We just gonna do a small one. And for about, let's see, how long we been live. Let's make this for 30 minutes if we can. And if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. We'll do that. Let's play the video.
Nose shoots straight down, and the nose is large and protruding, which is typical of the European. Similarly, you look at this fellow right here, who indeed is Arab, so there's minor differences, but he is essentially, fundamentally one who fits into the Caucasoid racial category, as evidenced by his light-colored eyes, which is a phenotypical feature of the European. Europeans come.
You hear this crap? Let me show y'all some. Another lie he telling. See, the idea that blonde hair and blue eyes come from the white man, you got to stop this, y'all. We got to stop with this. Seriously. Again, we don't get out much. You get in Aboriginal, they got a whole tribe of black folks with blonde hair and blue eyes. Let me give a shout out to Terra Firm for being one of 10 to help us reach our goals so we ain't struggle streaming. Appreciate that, brother. I appreciate the love, Terra Firm. We one of 10. I'm confident we'll reach the goal, but you know, I just want to show black people with blue eyes, because when you say stuff like that and I show stuff like this, then guess what the next step they gonna do? Now they got to attack this young boy. Every black person with blue eyes, they gotta make it like something wrong with you. You just can't be a black man with blue eyes. Now what's crazy is that we would say that these are the white man features, but we'll also turn around and tell you we created the white man. Because over time, because the white man ain't nothing but a mutated African, is what they saying. That's what they saying, right? So if the white man come from us, then the blue eyes and blonde hair was already in us. It's the result of what happened when our blackness get exposed to cold environments, which is a bunch of bull crap. We know that's, but I'm giving you the science behind it. It's bull crap. You know. So if you put black folks in the cold, over time, they'll turn into George Bush. That's the lie they telling us. We go for it. We don't think about it like that. But again, for them to perpetuate that lie, they would have to make these black people flawed. They got to tell this young black man, you ain't really one of us. You really a white boy. Now, I got friends who got a black mama, black daddy, and they got green eyes, or either eyes that's like that hazel white girl color. And the black women love them niggas. Hey, let me give a shout out to Leonard Robinson, man. Salutes and flat power, Leonard. I appreciate the love, man, for real. You 2 of 10, Leonard, man, you helping us so we ain't struggle streaming. Appreciate y'all for real. But I can tell you right now, it's plenty black people that got friends. Everybody got the bad red bone with the green eyes. Tell me I'm lying. Every hood got them the fine red bones, and they got them light green eyes. And then guess what? The parents be black. Now they would have to make her mixed though. But see, I love discussing this kind of stuff because it not only helped me correct black folks, it shows you how they lie to us about evolution, migrating out of Africa. We ain't getting these features from white folks. These are just natural features that happens in nature. As all is simple. Now I know you want some complex, because they'll say, but brother Sanchez, it was a white person in the family somewhere with them features. How do we know that black people ain't always naturally was able to have blue eyes, blonde hair? Like, look at how jet black this brother right here is. If you telling me a white man gave him his blue eyes, he sure ain't give him that jet black skin. Look at that. Look at here. If the white man gave him them blue eyes, he don't supposed to be this black.
That's right.
You can't tell me that the white man genetics said, I'm going to take your pretty brown eyes, but I'm going to let you keep all that melanin in your skin. It don't work like that. Don't work like that. This right here debunks it. Hey, I'm telling y'all right now, in my opinion, if you're FBA and you out here pushing we Egyptians, it's tether behavior. Drop a 1. It's tether behavior. If I was a tether, I would love that. Because because what are the tethers doing? They're saying you're an African. We all the same. Undermining your delineation. So once we say we're all Egyptians, we just undermined our own delineation.
That's right.
And we just made all of us immigrants again. When some of us may be Egyptians, some of us may be Nigerians. It's personal. No man can tell everybody what they are in FBA. If you're a foundational Black American, you may be a different kind than me by lineage. It's different ways you can be it. But one thing is true. We all ain't the same thing as FBA. Only thing that make us the same thing is FBA. Our people been here since the foundation. But there may be different ways your people got here. And like Tariq says, some of us may been here prior to others. But guess what? If you showed up during the transatlantic slave trade and you participated, and your people were enslaved, you FBA. You FBA. Well, they came over here from Nigeria. They was enslaved. They're FBA. If you was here already from the beginning, you FBA. So this is what's being taught in FBA. Ain't that I'm making up. This is what Tariq tell you, everybody. One thing that can't happen in FBA, can't nobody tell FBAs, y'all all Egyptians.
That's right.
When that happened, red flag should go up. Red, because FBA is a lineage movement. Meaning you don't know what the hell he is unless you ask him. Because you would be doing what the tethers and white man do. Walk up to you and just say, you're an African. And don't even ask you about who you are. Like, bro, I'm a Creek Indian. But that's what happened if you just look at a person's features and think we all the same. I'm not an African. I'm not an Egyptian. I'm a foundational Black American who been here. But there may be. Now, see, because people trying to make this thing a group. It's not. It's a reparations-based lineage. So what I mean by that is, if the crime that was committed against humanity was slavery, the people who committed that crime are owning up to it, which is a good thing. But they're owning up to it in hopes that you don't know who you are to be able to take the next step. And they was wrong, because look at FBA. It's people literally getting reparations, bro. And you got folks saying, we ain't gonna get reparations, quit begging in 2026 when they cutting checks. Even if it's $30, you wrong. It just showing you, right? It's symbolic, for real. Because it's old, whether you get it or not. People are saying we owe our ancestors to fight, to even make them keep remembering the act that was committed against humanity, right? Because the Jews ain't gonna let you forget the Holocaust, right? So, and they definitely ain't gonna say nothing stupid like, I don't care about getting reparations or compensated for it either. We would do that. And the Jews got more money than us, but they still ain't turning down more money. Negroes do that. Negroes do. And we got weird ways. And I say, we, like Juvie said it best, acting like a nigga who ain't ever had shit. I get it, because we come from the hood, we get on, and we want to portray this, like, you know, bro saying he got food stamps, but he don't want nobody else getting them. Stuff like that. We think that's a form of like flossing, balling. Hey man, fuck food stamps, right? And that's the kind of attitude, even though you don't use them anymore, you gotta think beyond yourself. So all of this stuff is coming off to me like a boule agenda, but I'm gonna finish this tomorrow because I've been here about 2 hours and a half. I wanted to get some smoke on, and the video just Lookership and feature talk, so it ain't really nothing. You can go watch it on your own, and you can tell them, hey, debate Sanchez on this topic if you want.
Come from the colder the brow. Pierce Morgan has a nose.
But he just said what I said, that the cold will make a black man look like Pierce Morgan over time. If you drop off Kunta Kinte in Alaska and come back 200 years, you're going to have George Bush. I don't know why our people believe that shit. Like, we really believe that, bro. Yeah, all you got to do is put them niggas in the cold. Put the black man in the refrigerator for a little bit, and when you take him out, it's going to be Bill Clinton. Like, the stuff we believe with science and repeat is crazy. Yeah. Leave that black man in the cold and he gonna get small lips, a small nose. He gonna like country music, right? Because you gotta think, you can explain physical features with the environment, which you really can't, right? You can try to explain physical features with the environment, but how do environment make them like totally different foods than you? How do it make them dance different than you? Because remember, this just a mutated it's just an African that was in the cold, nigga, as if they don't have winter in Africa. And how strong is our melanin is all you gotta do for an African is put him in the refrigerator for a while to turn that nigga to a George Bush. How is your melanin that strong that you can't survive a few winters without becoming Justin Timberlake? Like, damn, we dropped this nigga off and he was Michael Jordan. We came back 200 years later and we got mankind Nick Foley in this motherfucker. I gotta go, man. This is crazy. I'll see y'all on the next one. We're gonna finish it on part 2 whenever I have time. We're gonna follow it back up. Yeah, bro, like you get white people by putting black Africans in the fridge for a minute. So yeah, appreciate the donations and shout out to the channel members. But yeah, man, we gonna follow this one back up because I love this topic that we ain't Egyptians. And I know it can't be proven. I'll debate anybody on it. Peace and love.